Hi friends, good evening to all of you. So in this session we will discuss like interview questions of source list. In last session we have discussed about source list, different options like fixed option, blocked option and different supplier option. In this class we will see some important interview questions that used to be asked by interviewers from this topic source list. So we will discuss that one by one, right? So first of all is like if you want a material to be maintained with a source list, we need to select the checkbox in MMR in purchasing view. If we select the checkbox, we have to maintain the source list mandatorily. What does this mean? Let's suppose there's a client requirement, you are SAP MM consultant and client is saying to you like, I just want my end user to create a source list every time. Like they must not forget about the source list. They must maintain a source list for that particular material. So it's a requirement from client side. So how we can fulfill that requirement? Simply in material master record, in purchasing view, we will just select this source list checkbox mandatory. So if we are going to select this checkbox as a mandatory, then if someone will try to create a PO and if source list is not maintained, the system will throw a error like the source list is not maintained but it's required, it's mandatory. So that we can do, and let's see how we can do in a SAP system. So just come to SAP system, just log in. Here user ID and password, hit enter, and here I will just go to mm01. In mm01 itself, let's suppose I just want to make the changes for already created material. Let's suppose, let me open list of my material using T code mm60. So these are list of my material. This is list of my material, and it's a requirement like let's suppose for this particular material, client just want that source list must be maintained before creating any PO or PR. So how we are going to maintain that already created material for like if we are going to create a new material, in that case also we can do. But let's suppose we just want to do that for existing material, for existing material master record. So how we can do that? Simply in mm02. So mat03 is a material, so we will do that in mm02. So we will just give here material mat03. This is our material, and we will select the views. So let's suppose I only want to make the changes in purchasing view, because that checkbox, source list checkbox, is available in purchasing view. Then I can select only purchasing view. But if I want to make the changes in another views like basic data 1 and accounting 1, general plant data 1, that then we will select these views also. But here I only required that purchasing view, so I just required that purchasing view here, right? And I will just click on org level, and plant, let me give here, hit enter, right? And here you just scroll down, you can see that source list checkbox. So here you can see this source list checkbox is there. So select this checkbox, check mark this checkbox, hit enter and save it. Now if I will try to create a PO, let's suppose I just want to create a PO for this mat03. Let me take any supplier. So here mat03, quantity, net price, plant, let me try to create this. So I will create and I will check that just using this T code. And here you can see here material this not included in a source list despite a source list is required. What does this mean? This simply means like I am trying to create a purchase order by just taking this source list, but I didn't maintain that source list. The system will throw me that error. Like for this material mat 03, it's not included in source list despite source list is requirement. Like source list is required, but instead of that we didn't created any source list. So what we have to do, if we just want to create a PO, we have to maintain a source list for that. It's just like a reminder. Okay, like if end users are trying to create a PO by just without maintaining a source list for this material mat 03, then they will face that error, right? So this is how it will make mandatory to create a source list. Now to create a purchase order, first they have to create a source list for that material. Okay, like with the combination of this material and this supplier, first that must be maintained, a source list must be maintained there, right? So this is first interview question. Second interview question is, if you want to block a particular material in a plant for a particular vendor, we will block the vendor in source list. Like we have already seen, if for some particular plant for some particular period of a time we just want to block a vendor or supplier, we will just block that in source list ME01 by just selecting this checkbox, block checkbox. But if we just want to block that vendor permanently for all the material, in source list in ME01 we just block for some particular material. Let me show you. Like in that you can see, for that particular material we are going to block. Okay, so if we just want to block, we have to block for some particular material and for particular supplier or vendor. But if we want to block some supplier for all the material, for procurement of all the material, whatever we used to purchase from him, we just want to block him completely, then we will just block that in XK05 or XK06. So you can see here XK05 and XK06. So XK05, this is supplier number, company code here, purchase org, hit enter. So here we can just block that vendor. Okay, you can see here this vendor status is there. So in BP also we can do that, and here also we can do that by just using T code XK05 and XK06. So it will take us to this screen, and from here we just want to block that for all company code, we can block that. If we want to block only for that company code, specific company code, selected company code, we will block as per that. So like that we can block from here, right? In XK05, XK06 also we can do, or in BP, because it's also taking us to BP. So in BP also, like just go to other purchase order number and just mention here a purchase order and hit enter. Then you can, in vendor status, you can block from here simply. So you can also use XK05, XK06, or BP also you can use. So the point is, like if we want to block some vendor completely for procurement of all the material, then we will just block that in XK05 and XK06, right? So this is how we can block a vendor. Now if we don't want a particular material to be procured from any of the vendors, okay, let's suppose we just want to block, this is a fourth interview question from source list. The question is like, if interviewer is going to ask you like that, like if we don't want a particular material, let's suppose we are talking about this material. Let's suppose we are talking about this material. any of this material, like mat04 we are talking about. So mat04, we just want to block for all the suppliers from whoever we used to purchase this vendor, like from whoever we used to purchase this material from any of the vendor. We just want to block all these vendors. So let's suppose 100 suppliers or 100 vendors are there. Both vendor and supplier both are same, so don't be confused in that. So let's suppose 100 suppliers are there. So and we used to purchase this mat04 from these 100 supplier, and we just want to block that mat04 from all these 100 supplier. How we can block? We will simply block that in ME01 source list. And how we are going to block that mat04? Let's suppose how we are going to block that, simply we will just give a validity date, like from this date to this date we just want to block that. So we will just mention a validity date here, and purchase organization, and we will select a block checkbox. Like that we will block for all the supplier. Here we are not going to maintain any supplier. Like let's suppose 100 supplier is there for this material. We used to purchase this material from 100 supplier, or let's suppose 1000 supplier is there. If it's a like big organization is there, we used to purchase this mat04 from 1000 supplier, and we just want to block this material from all these 1000 supplier. We can't maintain that 1000 entries here now. So simply what we will do, we will just maintain the validity date, purchase or material, and we will just select the block checkbox. Then it will be blocked for all the supplier, right, and save it. Then it will be blocked for the procurement of all the supplier, right. Now if we will try to create a PO, we will not able to create a PO because system will throw me an error like this is blocked. Okay, this is also interview question. Yeah, this is already discussed. If we want to maintain source list for material without fail, we need to select a checkbox in purchasing view of vendor master record. That's already discussed. Then if anyone tries to procure the material, the system will throw a message that we need to maintain a source list. We can't miss a source list maintenance. That already we have discussed. Now if I just wrap up, if I just summarize here different types of blocking. So first is like block a material with single vendor. If we just want to block a material from that single vendor, how we are going to block? We will block the vendor in source by selecting block checkbox. Then the vendor can't supply that material only. Blocking the vendor totally from procurement. If we just want to block the vendor totally from procurement, then simply we will just block that in XK05. So in XK05 and XK06, or in BP, also, in T code BP also we can block that. So like using T code BP also we can block this, right. So in BP itself we can block that. Third blocking is blocking a particular material from all the vendors that we have discussed. So what we will do, we will just maintain a date, we will maintain material and plant, and we will just select a block checkbox, but we will not mention any vendor here. So we will maintain validity period and select checkbox, but without maintain any vendors. That we will do here. Next blocking that we have like seen, that fourth blocking in material master record. So in material master record also we can block a material. If we just want to make inactive that material for some time, in which scenario, in real time, in which scenario we use this fourth option. Let's suppose we have purchased some material mat01, and right now we don't want to purchase this material anymore because we have sufficient quantity for that material. Even we don't know for how much time we are not going to we just don't want to purchase that material, or 6 months or 1 year, we even don't know. So what we will do, we will just block that material, or we will make that material inactive in material master record. So how we are going to block that? In material master record, in basic data 1 we will block that. Let me show you that also, that fourth ways of blocking. Just use T code mm02 because I just want to block this in material master record, and just select basic data 1, and here if you just scroll down you can see here, right? So here we can just block that in that basic data 1. So in basic data 1 you can see in general data, here it is general data, and you can see here let me check it here. Yeah, you can see cross plant material, you can see blocked for procurement. So if we will select this first option here, like cross plant material 01, then it will be blocked, and for like we will not able to procure that externally, that material, and we will just save it. So this particular material will not, we will not able to purchase, and even the time interval is not available, like for 3 month or 6 month, it is not even mentioned. Until and unless we can't purchase this material, until and unless again we just go to, we just come to mm02 T code, and we just again come that basic data 1, and here we just change this cross plant material, just leave that blank and hit enter and save. So whenever like we just want to make this active again, we just want to purchase that externally, then again we will come to mm02 and we will just leave that field blank. Like that we can unblock that in material master record. So these are 4 ways of blockings that we have seen here, right? So these, like almost all interview questions are covered, whatever like interviewer is going to ask from this topic, that all are covered in that, right? So just practice that, and just see each and every option, like by just using that blocking option, then try to create a PO, because I didn't show you after blocking, I didn't show you to create a PO in all the options. What you do while doing practice, just do that configuration and then try to create a PO, then see what system is which type of error system will throw. System will throw like this is blocked, and why it's blocked, that also it will be there. Okay, so like that you can block, right? So I guess it's clear to you, all of you guys. So thank you, thanks a lot, may God bless you all.